Our cover story, Home from the Hajj, is the last chapter in our story of one man's journey of faith. Last April, almost 2 million Muslims converged on Mecca in Saudi Arabia for the Hajj, the Islamic pilgrimage. One of this year's pilgrims was Abdul Ali Mubarak of Maplewood, New Jersey. We first met him as he prepared for this, his first Hajj. Our correspondent, Anisa Mehdi, then traveled with him to Saudi Arabia. Now, in the final report of the series, reporter Mehdi visits Mubarak back home, starting at a storefront Islamic center in Newark.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Abdul Ali Mubarak performed the Hajj this year for the first time. Now back, volunteering again at this masjid or mosque in Newark, he finds teaching Sunday school is even more important to him than before his journey.
It broadens your scope as a human being because you find that all human beings are exactly the same. But at the same time, we're different. Hajj, right. Now, what exactly is Hajj? Who can tell me what Hajj is?
A pilgrimage.
I was sharing with the children, and even with the adults that were there, to instill the enthusiasm for making Hajj. One day, you all will get to make that journey as well. When you make your prostrations anywhere in the world, you know you're facing the Kaaba, right? But to be right there, and you bow, and you make it right in front of the Kaaba itself, that is like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Imagine a crowd a quarter the size of New York City, only more diverse, all trying to do the same thing at the same time in the same place. The common language is Arabic, though not everybody speaks it well. The common goal, the worship of God. The world over, Muslims swear there is no God but the one God. The world over, they face Mecca to pray 5 times a day. In Mecca is the Kaaba, believed to be the first house of worship for the one God built on earth.
The Muslims don't worship the Kaaba. They worship the Lord of the Kaaba. Okay, and it's only a focal point.
The Kaaba is in the center of the Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary. Open to the sky, 3 stories high, it's big enough to hold 750,000 worshippers at once. And if there's no room inside, outside will do.
It's huge. It is so imposing. You're dwarfed by it. The huge marble columns, the huge marble minarets. It just dwarfs you. And you feel like this tiny little ant, you know, walking in this vast expanse. And it empties out into this vast courtyard. And right before you, you see the Kaaba. And it's like, this is it. This is what I've been praying towards. This is it.
The first act of the Hajj is to walk around the Kaaba 7 times, following the example of the Prophet Muhammad and his ancestor Abraham, who is credited with raising the foundations of this holy house. Before you can walk around the Kaaba, you must enter a state of spiritual purity called ihram. For women, it's a consciousness, an intention to perform Hajj. But for men, there's also a special garb.
Okay, this is what's called the ihram. And what happens is these are 2 pieces of unstitched cloth. So we put these 2 pieces of cloth on, and you wear nothing else. No underwear, no perfumes, no colognes, no deodorant, no nothing.
There's a psychological vulnerability, I would imagine.
Because you are exposed. But you also enter into a state of consciousness, whereby you don't do any arguing with anybody, no intimate relationships with your wife. Your whole being is geared toward getting close to your Lord.
Now, the women can pretty much wear whatever they want. Why do men have to wear just the 2 towels?
It equalizes everybody. It's an ego thing. Men have large egos. We have large ambitions. So you don't know whether you're standing next to or talking with a CEO or a president or a beggar. Because in the eyesight of Allah, you're all the same.
All the same, except for the culture clash in the hot crush of the crowd. Some folks say, "Excuse me." Some elbow their way through.
Did you find yourself able to focus in spite of the crowd, in spite of the heat, in spite of the push?
Sure I did, no question. That was very easy. You become so focused, okay, in your worship that you block everything out.
After circling the Kaaba comes running 7 times between 2 hills called Safa and Marwa. The density of humanity makes the run more like a trudge. Pilgrims reenact a story found in both the Bible and the Quran. Abraham's second wife, Hagar, was left in the desert, desperate for water for their son Ishmael. According to Islamic tradition, God provided the spring of Zemzem, which refreshes Mecca's visitors to this day. It's on then to Mina for the night. En route, they chant, "Here I am, O Lord," as Hajjis have done for 14